place. Let's hang out, talk, share a bit. It's Club Grief. Club Grief, Season 2, Episode 2. Older, wiser, nearer. Now I'll get to the reason why I am calling it that. But first I want to tell you where I am. It is November 2024 here in California. Recently, this country went through a presidential election along with a Senate and House election, local government, whether it be city, county, state election. And with any election, there will be winners and losers. And let me emphasize, I repeat, I am not here to talk politics. This is Club Grief. It's about loss, not that kind of loss. Now, you can experience grief from many types of loss, whether it be an election, a sports team, a job, anything that involves loss. If you want to listen to politics, there are plenty of places you can find political interviews and commentary. Podcasts, radio, movies, music, TV shows, news outlets. This is not that place. And the reason I talk about this and tell you about what's going on is because if you're dealing with grief, loss of a person, trauma, anxiety, these things can add to it. However, I feel the need to separate that, especially here on my podcast, Club Grief. Now, also I tell you it's November 2024 because I'm a little over 8 months into my grief, my loss. And you know what? It's not any easier. No matter how much therapy, no matter what medication, no matter what I do to try to get on with my life, move on, restart, reboot, it is not easy. So I want you to know, if you're dealing with this, no matter how long it's been since you've lost someone, there is no time limit to when grief will be better or end. It's going to be something we deal with all our life. Speaking of all our life, the reason I called this episode Older, Wiser, Nearer is because I've been listening to interviews or watching interviews with people that I admire who are older than me. And it seems to be a topic of discussion built around death and how they are dealing with the coming of the end of life. Now, here's the thing. We really don't know when life is going to end. For the most part, when my wife Heidi passed away, I didn't know that was going to be it. And suddenly, she's gone. Now, there are some people who have a terminal disease and they can predict how much longer they have to live. That's not always accurate. And then suddenly someone could just pass away in some kind of tragedy or unforeseen accident. Well, sure. I mean, it's good that people talk about that and we get comfortable with the idea of the end of life. But it doesn't make it any easier for those of us who are left behind here in Club Grief. Now, there is a comfort to hearing a song that someone writes about it, or maybe seen a TV show or a movie about that. It allows us to feel an emotion. Specifically for me, I listened to a song recently by an artist and it just made me cry. Just made me cry because I thought about my wife. And that's a good thing because it allowed me to have feelings that I might not have felt without hearing that song. Now, as an artist myself, I've written songs about life and death. I've written songs about my wife, how much I loved her, how much I don't think she knew how much I loved her. And there's so many things that I've written about that has to deal with loss now after losing my wife. And I want you to be able to feel through my feelings when I write a song and put it out there. So you can cry, so you can smile, so you can laugh, so you can remember, so you can feel. And another reason I titled this Older, Wiser, Nearer is because I've been listening to a podcast called Wiser Than Me with a host I respect and admire who talks to older women and gets their perspective of what it's like to be older. So I encourage you to check it out. It's called Wiser Than Me, and it's hosted by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. In the meantime, don't forget to live, laugh, smile, cry, and give yourself permission to love yourself, and just feel. See you next time, right here on Club Grief.